World, I'm back again. Some people call me poet, some people call me prophet. My presentation name is not for sale, because the gift God gave this man, you can't put a price on it. Take all those names, throw them away, they don't mean anything. The only name I want you to remember on this platform is the characteristics of Jesus, the knowledge of the universe and God, and that's the names I want you to remember when I leave now. I stayed and I studied all day today, you know what I'm saying? And all right, brother, you take it easy. And yeah, the guy was just telling me in my building, like, 4 or 5 people come down smoking weed in the elevator, and I told him, that's not my battle. You understand? So, because what happens, you understand what I'm saying, is you gotta let people be their own demise. Some people don't want help. You understand what I'm saying? They just want to do what they want to do, when they want to do it, and they just want to take advantage of you. They want you to help them do wrong. I learned I can do bad all by myself. I don't need nobody to help me do bad. Understand? But I noticed that when I went, my appetite for the next part of this month is going to be beets. How you doing, sir? My appetite's going to be beets and cashews. And that's how I'm going to go on my fast. I don't care what nobody say. I'm going to eat drink beet juice, beet smoothies, and cashews. But I noticed that when I went to get some beet juice, I went to 4 different stores. And these are things that I noticed that most people don't, is that they had every type of drink. I mean, everything looked so good. But I couldn't even go to the Family Dollar locally and find beet juice. Now, some people think, they'll make you think that's a coincidence, but ask yourself why. That you can go to every pharmacy and everywhere and you can't find beet juice. Because what beet juice does, a lot of people don't understand, it helps your intestinal tract, softens up your muscles, you understand what I'm saying? So it has, and it repairs your liver, you understand? Your livers can repair, you understand itself. Kidneys can't, but your liver can repair itself. But anyways, I just want to put that out there. I'm getting ready to go back in and study, but I just want to share a story with you. How you doing, man? I just want to share a story with you, you understand? Before you lay down, I'm going to go in and watch a movie, you understand? But in this story, there was this man. Now, in this story, I don't know how you can identify with it, but you're going to find something there that you need to be aware of. In this story, this man gets left this inheritance. Okay. Now, when he gets left this inheritance, he goes and buys a whole team of horses. So, when he buys a team of horses, he says, because he's very poor, you understand? And so what happens when he buys this team of horses is, this has got to be the best thing that ever happened to me in my life. And that small, still voice that I tell you that's inside of you told that man, it says, maybe so, and maybe not. So the man's son goes out, and the man's son jumps up on the shiniest, best horse. And he starts riding the horse, and the horse shoots down through the pasture. Understand? And the horse throws him, and he breaks his leg. So the man, they got him, he breaks his leg. They get him to the hospital, and now he can't, his son, he can't use his son to till the ground. So he says, this has got to be the worst thing that ever happened to me in my life. And that still voice told me, said, maybe so, and maybe not. So now, while his son's laying up in the hospital, he hears this roar of thunder like a bunch of horses. And the horses come down, and there's a general that steps off the horses. And the general tells him like this, he says, you know, they've declared martial law. You know, and we're taking up all the young boys in the area, including your son. And the man looked at him, and he looked at him with joy. He says, you cannot take my son. And the man said, why? He says, because my son has broke his hip and his leg. And so when a team of horses went off, the man said, this has got to be the best thing that ever happened to me in my life. So, the little small voice said, maybe so, and maybe not. Now, get a few weeks up into his life. I mean, into his son healing. And his son had contracted infection inside of his hip and inside of his leg. And the bad news about that was that his son passed away. And when his son passed away, this man was sitting there in his misery. And the man told him this. He says to himself this. This has got to be the worst thing that ever happened to me. Maybe so, and maybe not. That's what the voice says. So I say all that to say this. Life is hills and valleys, and just when you get to the top, you think that you're in charge. You could be in charge, it could be the best thing that ever happened to you. But I'm here to let you know, maybe so, and maybe not. Let it be written, so let it be done.